All right, here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
I'm losing my mind. I ordered, and I've been, if you're watching this here on the YouTube video, for the last 2 hours, what time is it? It's 2:30. For the last 2.5 hours, I have been, walking around the house and kind of picking up and stuff and getting my mind ready for today's show. And we do this every Friday, usually about this time, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is my therapy, by the way. This is 50. I am 52 years old. And we've been doing this show. I say we. We've had a couple people on the show before that was co-hosting with me, but now it's just me. But I've been doing the show for 3 years. This past March is just going over 3 years. So when I say I'm losing my mind, I bought something, some promotional stuff. And I remember, I got the notification, it came in the mail, or it came in, a UPS or something like that, and I opened it up, and I'm like, oh, these are exactly what I wanted. And in my stupor, walking around and not paying attention to what I'm doing, like I've got the item in my hand. Then my mind goes to like 3 other different places. Like, okay, now you can go do this, go do this, go do this. I've got this thing in my hand. I'm like, well, I can't take this with me. So I just set it down somewhere. I'm like, I'll come back to it later. Of course, the sun sets and the sun rises, and I've completely forgotten what I've done, where it's at. I can't find it. And it's not like it's a huge item. It's not like it's a small item. It's a bunch of little acrylic buttons for one of the shows that I do. If you're watching this on the YouTube video, one of those shows that I do behind me. And I'm like, going, God damn it, I just ordered those stupid things. I don't know where they're at. So I'm losing my mind. I lost my mind last week. As you guys know, if you're friends of us on the Facebook page, we appreciate you. If you'd like to be a friend of ours on the Facebook page, go over and search This is 50 over on Facebook, and you can see all the shenanigans that goes on in between each show. And I wrote a little message saying, basically, sorry, I know it was Memorial Day weekend. Everyone was like going, oh, well, you took the weekend off and all that. No, I didn't take the weekend off. I had every intention of doing the show. I actually was sitting right here in the studio, right here in the chair, and I go, I'm writing down the topics, and I'm like, and I go, I can't do it today. My mind will not let me be who I need to be for this show. Now, for those of you who are new to the show, welcome. I do this strictly for me. This is strictly therapy for me. It's those things where it's cheaper than paying a therapist. You guys are my therapists. But it gets all this out through this microphone. Oh, Jesus Christ. And this shit too. Go fuck yourself. Hope that wasn't my boss. Put that on something. Is it on? Yeah, it's on. And I sat down here in the studio. I'm looking at like the first couple topics I have for the show. And this show is not scripted. It's just, just some things I want to touch on and stuff. And I sat down and I go, I can't do it. I will jump off a cliff if I did a show last week. So I went back downstairs, and we sit on about 22 some odd acres. This studio is a finished apartment above our 3-car garage. It's got AC. It's all wired and stuff for headphones and XLR cables and stuff. So this is my at-home studio. And I went back downstairs, and my wife's like going, oh, you're not doing the show today? I go, I can't do the show today. I can't do the show without, I don't want to say killing myself. I can't do the show today and come out of the show happy on the other side. She's like, why? What's wrong? I said, babe, there's a lot of things that just led up to this. Friday itself was a bad day. Last week was a bad day for me. and you're like, well, what happened? What happened? Well, I'll get into what happened. One of the things was I broke a streak that I had, and I was so proud of this streak, and and someone in a blink of an eye took it away from me, and I was like, I was dealing with that, and there was just a couple other things that were bothering me, and I know I'm everyone's like, spill the beans, spill the beans. It was like a 1, 2, 3 punch, and I didn't see, like I said, at the end of the show, me coming out on the other side happy, because there's a lot of stuff that wasn't resolved. What that was, well, let's see. Already starting. Where's the time at? How's the time gone? Where's the time gone? All right, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to regroup myself and maintain my composure, and I'll dive into all the stuff that led to me not doing a show last week. And tell me what you think. Am I right for not doing a show last week, or maybe I should have? I don't know. So stick around. I'll be right back. I found a new condiment. My wife goes, "You're a condiment connoisseur." And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" She's like, "You're always looking for like a different barbecue sauce. You're looking for a different hot sauce. You're looking for a different mayonnaise. You're looking for a different dressing. You're looking for anything that's not an actual meal. You're always looking for something different." And I said, "Well, that's the kind of the spice of life type deal. If you have a hamburger, you need the sauce on the side or whatever. It's just, I'm always looking for some kind of condiment." She's like, "You're gonna die a condiment. You're gonna die in some kind of condiment disaster or something." We made, what did we make? Oh, we made like a lasagna, but it was a spinach Alfredo, cream cheese, and chicken lasagna. No red sauce. It's all Alfredo sauce. The layers of the lasagna noodles, and then you put your layer of spinach artichoke dip, and then you do a layer of chicken, and then you do your noodles, and then a layer of cream cheese, and then rinse, repeat, over and over and over again until you fill up the dish. And it was really good. But for the leftovers, I was like, I need to kick this up. I gotta do something with it. And I found out, I said, okay, if I can form a complete sentence here. My wife has been eating cottage cheese in the morning. Cottage cheese, a couple little mandarins that you get out of the can, mandarin oranges, puts that on top. Good breakfast, I'm out the door. And I'm a stickler for not wasting food. I will eat something till it is gone all the way past the expiration date, and if it's still good, I will eat it. My wife does not do that, but I have to. It's how we can afford all the stuff that we have. We're not going around and buying stuff just as soon as it expires. So I had a thing of huge, half a tub or whatever of cottage cheese, and she's not eating it anymore. I said, well, let me see what I can do with this. So I've got some ramekins, and I put some cottage cheese in there. And I'm not a big cottage cheese fan. Growing up as a kid, I was like, that's gross. This nerdy kid, David Gillespie, he was like, it's delicious. My mom makes it for me all the time, or puts it in my lunch every day. Back in elementary school, he must have been poor, I guess. And then gradually, I put like salt on it. I was like, all right, this is kind of good. And the older you get, of course, your palate and your taste buds change. And so I was sitting there going, well, what if I put some cottage cheese in a ramekin and put some hot sauce on it? You put hot sauce on everything. What's that, Frank's? I put that shit on everything. So I put some hot sauce in the cottage cheese. And you're like, well, what do you need that for? Well, when you do a lasagna and you put it in the refrigerator and you bring it back out, sometimes the noodles get a little dry on the sides. Even when you microwave it, the noodles get a little dry. You need something to rehydrate it. So I'm sitting there eating my chicken spinach Alfredo lasagna, and I cut a piece off, and I dip it in the cottage cheese and hot sauce. Oh, my God, it was so good. It was so good. I said, babe, she came home from work. I'm like, I've discovered a new condiment. Oh, great. What is it? This is better. I'm going to say almost better. Put a little garlic salt on it. Almost better than Papa John's garlic spread or whatever that little cup that they give you, because that's good too. This is almost as good. If I would have not told you it was cottage cheese and you were looking at it, of course you could tell it's cottage cheese. It was so delicious. So hot sauce, cottage cheese, ramekin, hot sauce, maybe a tablespoon depending on how much you like hot sauce, and a little ramekin and stuff. Boom, new condiment for me. Do you know how sometimes, guys, if you're listening to me out there, when you're sitting around a group of guys or group of friends, doesn't have to be guys, it can be anyone, and you get a little buzz going, you start talking about things. Yeah, remember that? Then you get to a couple more drinks and you're like going, oh man, we should do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's book a trip. Let's get the band back together. Let's do, let's something outrageous. Because your inhibitions are low. You don't see the negative. You don't plan anything. You're just like going, I want to do this right now. This would be a perfect thing to do. Well, there's a gentleman that was on the show when we first started out. This show right here. His name's Shane. I've talked about him before. And just a brief description as far as what he's got going on. He has a daughter who's basically at home. She's bedridden. She can't move. She can't talk. She can't wipe her ass type deal. He has to take care of her. So he's there 24 hours taking care of her. And daughter, young, mid to late 20s now probably. And just bad incident, bad scenario. But she's at home. And that's his, I don't want to say his full-time job, but that's his full-time responsibility. So in the process of him being at home and stuff, he's able to do a lot of stuff. And in the process of him being home, they've extended like the back deck out on his home. He's got a big, beautiful deck. He sends me pictures all the time. We talk on the phone maybe once every other month or something. They put in a pool. He's like the project manager and make sure everything's going right, at the house and stuff. And so he's doing all that. And then I guess they were him and his wife was sitting on the back porch, back patio, back deck, looking over the pool and stuff. And they might have had a couple drinks and stuff. And of course, when he calls me, if it's past noon, you know what's going on at this house. And he called me like around 5:30 or something. And this is probably about 2.5 weeks ago. And he says, hey, man. I'm like, hey, Shane, how you doing, man? You doing all right? Yeah. Listen, man, my wife and I'll leave her name out of it, so protect the innocent. My wife and I were thinking about it. Hey, what do you do Memorial Day weekend? I said, I really don't have any plans right now. Why? What's going on? We would love for you and your wife to come over and hang out with us Memorial Day weekend. I said, cool. He goes, man, you got to see the place. We've got the LED lights. We've got the pool. We've got the music going and everything's nice. And, everything's, beautiful. It's like a vacation away from the house. We love it. We got a hot tub and all this other stuff. And hey, man, it'd be cool for you guys to come and hang out with us. I said, that'd be a great idea. Let me ask Amy, make sure she doesn't have a horse show or something going on. I would love to come over there and hang out with you. All right. Talk to you later, man. Ask your wife and let me know. So the next day, my wife gets home late. I'm already in bed. And next day, I asked my wife, I said, hey, Shane invited us over. Oh, that would be great. I'd love to go over there. I'm like, yeah, get me out of the house for a little bit. You can hang out with Shane. She's never really hung out with Shane other than we were working somewhere else together and she only knew him in passing. But to hang out with him and I say family, him and his daughter. And I think her dad lives there too. And I said, yeah. Well, I'll set it up. Shane, hey, everything's good. Do you have a place for us to stay? Yeah, we have a spare bedroom. Blah, blah, blah. So everything's set up. Memorial Day weekend. This is 2 weeks out. Week goes by. Nothing. No contact. Amy's like going, have you talked to Shane? No, I haven't talked. Babe, it's 2 weeks out. Couple days, like 5 days before Memorial Day weekend. When I say Memorial Day weekend, I'm thinking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Those 4 days, right? I'm not going to be there the whole 4 days. I just want to know what days that we're going to be there and what day we're not going to be there. About 4 days from that Friday, I kind of reached out to Shane and said, hey, man, hey. And it's like 5, 6 o'clock. I'm hammered. I'm like, hey, man, am I supposed to bring anything? Do you want me to bring anything for the weekend? Like an air mattress or something? You said there was a single bed in there. Do I need to bring an air mattress? I've got some, THC gummies. Do I need to bring any of those? Or do I need to bring food? What do I need to do? And he said, no, everything's good. If you want to bring gummies, that's all on you guys. If we don't do that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, right. Surely you don't. And he's like, no, everything's good. Everything's going to be great. We're going to have a great time. He's still in for it, right? Probably caught him on a good buzz, too. So the Thursday before the Friday, before the Memorial Day weekend, he calls. Hey, man. What? He's like, you can blame me. You can blame me. I said, what? What's going on? I said, I knew, in the back of my mind, I fucking knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. Hey, I forgot my son's coming over with his wife, and they got 2 kids, and they're going to take the spare bedroom. This is 9 o'clock in the morning, so I know he's sober. And they're going to take the spare bedroom, and he's got 2 kids. They're like 2 and 4, and they're going to spend the weekend with us. I totally forgot. My wife told me that, hey, don't forget, your son's coming, or our son's coming over, and it's going to be a house full. He's like, you're welcome to come over. You're welcome to come over. And I said, Shane, in the back of my mind, I said, I knew this wasn't going to happen. It's one of those, let's get the band back together. And then you don't. And so I was like, Shane, it's cool. I said, it's fine. You have fun with your family. And he's a vet. He served in the military. He was in the Air Force. And so I said, just have a great time, Shane. I'm sorry, man. We'll go do something else. Yeah, no problem. We'll go do something else. No problem. So I hang up the phone and I text my wife. I go, guess what? She goes, Shane canceled. I said, yep. Shane canceled. She's like, oh, babe, you were looking forward to getting out of the house. Now, as much as, Shane is at home all the time, with his daughter who's sick in bed and he has to take care of her and do all that stuff, now I don't want to say stuck at home. I'm at home all the time, too. This is my job. This is my full-time job. I do 4 different podcasts, and they're all coming out of the studio. I got to edit and, video edit and audio edit and, post and social and meets and all that stuff. I never leave the house. And I was looking forward to getting out of the house. And I had Memorial Day weekend. I was just kind of like, the day before Memorial Day weekend, the Friday before, and I was denied leaving the house. So now my wife and I are trying to quickly scramble on what we're going to do. So I'll dive into what we decided to do and then what we changed our minds and actually ended up doing. So stick around. I'll be right back. For the last month and a half, my if you're watching us here on the YouTube channel, this side of my jaw, right here, has been bothering me like bad. Now, I was one of the lucky ones growing up, or being born, or whatever. We're all lucky being born. But I was one of the lucky ones that I was only born with one wisdom tooth. Now, they say if it doesn't come in by a certain age, it'll never come in. The problem is I don't know what side the one tooth is on. I thought it was up here somewhere. I don't know. But my lower jaw right here, can it cause pain? It's not, nothing's breaking through the gum line or anything like that. It's just like right here. I don't know. As everyone's grabbing their jaw going, And it's one of those things where you go, oh, there's like a bone or a lump or something underneath the skin, underneath the gum line, and I'm rubbing my tongue on it. And then you go, well, let's see if there's one on the other side. So you put your tongue on the other side. And you're like, well, you can't trust your tongue. So what do? You stick your fucking fingers in your mouth after picking up dog shit all day. You stick your finger in your mouth and you're rubbing the inside of your gum towards the back inside. Not the outside of your gum line, the inside. and you're rubbing your gum line. This, if you're watching me on the camera, this really looks bad. And I'm rubbing the inside of this one. I go, well, it feels. They both feel the same. The lumps and the bumps are all in the same place. So I don't know. So I'm just bringing it up now just in case this evolves into something else, like something stupid, like some kind of jaw cancer or something like that. You know, it could happen. Something stupid. Knowing my luck, right? So my wife and I were trying to figure out what to do. She's like, I know you want to get out. She's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I know you need to get out of the house. I said, I don't need to get out of the house, but I was looking forward to it. Getting out of the house and enjoying ourselves for a 3-day, 4-day weekend, whatever we were allowed to go over to Shane's house and do. I said, well, it's last minute. And I'm just throwing shit at the wall. Speaking of dog shit, I said, let's go to Carowinds. I said, it's Memorial Day weekend. The roller coasters are firing up. I saw a commercial on TikTok, come out to Carowinds, the home of the world's fastest and longest and weirdest and rowdiest roller coasters, north of the Mason-Dixon line and south of the Mason-Nixon line. You're like going, that sounds great. And my wife goes, well, you don't like roller coasters. I said, well, it's not that I don't like roller coasters, babe. I said, I worked for Universal Studios for 3 years. And when before the park opens their gates to the public, they have to test ride the roller coasters for a half hour. I mean, I would just sit on them. When I was doing pyrotechnics out at Universal Studios, I'd show up an extra hour early before my job, sit on the roller coasters. Hey, Tom, what's going on? Just Roy. And you just sit there literally just like carrying on a conversation with someone. It's just going over. I said, I get it. I understand it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I get it. I get the rush. I said, if you want to get me on these, you're going to have to get me juiced up. and then I'll go. She's like, all right, well, I'll check for an Airbnb. And I found out it was Memorial Day weekend. Well, I knew it was Memorial Day weekend, but I guess they let in any vets, serving and not serving, all that. So I'm like, oh, it's going to be fucking crowded. It's going to be packed. My wife goes, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, Travis? In the back of my mind, I'm like going, this is a 4-day weekend. There's something that we've been trying to get done here on the property, and this is probably a better time, if any. It's not the top thing that I wanted to do, but it's one of those things that it's one of those things. If I can get this off my books, I always tell my wife, I can get this off the books will be even. They'll be level. And it was ripping out the bathroom, the drywall on the bathroom. She's like, well, let's do that. I said, okay, let's do that. Are you sure? Are you sure, honey, you want to do that? Her talking to me. I said, yes. I said, this is what I want to do. Me and you spending time together. And we get along fine when we do projects and stuff. Yes, that's what I want to do. She's like, okay, how are we going to do it? I said, I don't know. Let's just start at the beginning. So we made a map and everything as far as what we're doing. We already have some of it done, by the way. We're just continuing on. So our bathroom is kind of half in remodel mode. And I said, well, we need shiplap. Because she wants to do shiplap. We're going to do shiplap in there. Let's get this. We need some drywall. How much drywall? So we're doing all the measurements and stuff. I said, so we'll go down Saturday morning, go down to Lowe's and pick it up. We'll push the cart around and load up what we need. She's like, why don't we order it now? This is Friday evening now. I say Friday evening, Friday after she gets off work. So it's 7:30. She's like, why don't we just order everything now? And then all we have to do is go pick it up and then grab little odds and ends stuff. Like we need paint, a little bit of paint and stuff. And then that way we can get back home and get started on everything. I'm like, great. Put it on the credit card, get 5% off. And I said, babe, you got to pay that credit card off as soon as it comes in. She's like, oh yeah, it'll be just a couple $100. I'm like, all right, yeah, just a couple $100, big baller. No. But for real. So we order 3 sheets of drywall, the moisture barrier kind. We order 36 10-foot pieces of shiplap. What else we order? Some drywall screws, a little shop vac they had on special, and a couple odds and end items. So we go to sleep. We go to sleep. I'll get into what happened, what broke my streak here in a little bit. But so we go to sleep, and then Saturday morning we get up, have breakfast, big breakfast, and then I said, okay, let's hit the road. Our order should be ready. You can see where I'm going with this. So we show up, and she's like, well, let's tell them we're here for our order. I said, no. I said, let's get the paint. Let's look at a couple things, that we need to get. And then as we're checking out, because the order's paid for, right? She's like, yeah, it's paid for. I said, we'll tell them our order and they'll bring it up. We can just load everything all up at once. So we get everything that we need, paint and a couple other odds and ends stuff. We get up to the register and then we're like, yeah, we're also here to pick up our order. Now, my wife, being a planner, as we walked in, she's like, we have some stuff to get. When we're going to come out this way, can you bring our order up to the commercial checkout? Sure, honey. Sure, ma'am. Not honey. Sure, ma'am. What's the last name? She says Holmes. All right. She gets on the thing, order for whatever, and she looks in the computer. Yep. I see it. It's right there. So we go shopping and stuff, and it takes, 45 minutes, go shopping, get what we need, and we come back up to the commercial checkout, because I know we're getting a bunch of wood and sheetrock and stuff, and we're paying for everything, and I go, where's our order? Because I'm just walking around. My wife's paying for everything. And she's like, oh, yes, where's our order? We turn to the commercial desk. Order for Holmes? Oh, they haven't pulled it yet. I said that we ordered it last night. I say last night. We ordered it yesterday. And we told them we'd be here before noon. Well, they haven't pulled it yet. I'm like, it's fucking 11:30. We've been, I said, what's the deal? Well, they're pulling it now. Oh, fuck. The reason why I say, oh, fuck, I knew this was going to happen, is because when we were trying to pick out some type of wood, and I looked over where the shiplap was, and I didn't see a space that was missing 36 pieces of shiplap. It was packed out completely. Have you ever seen like the wood, the wood in the racks? You're like, 36 pieces are not missing out of that. They didn't pull it, or they got a new order in after they pulled ours. So we get to the front. Sure enough, didn't pull it. Oh, they're pulling it right now, sir. All right. So I said, how long is this going to take? Because the whole reason for us ordering, now I'm getting to be an asshole. I said the whole reason why we ordered it last night so we could pick it up this morning. Oh, sorry, sir. I guess they got busy or something yesterday, or whatever excuse they gave me, some lame excuse. So I look across the commercial area, and the drywall's up front, and I see this young kid, with an apron on, order puller or whatever. And he's trying to muscle the drywall into one of those fucking carts with the rails on top. And I go, this guy's going to fucking drop it. It's going to crack, and we're going to be here even longer. So I walk over to him. Hey, you pulling an order? I am, sir. Who's the order for? Holmes? Yep, that's me. Let me help you. This should have been pulled earlier. What happened? Oh, we got busy. No, you didn't. Nobody did it. Fucking pieces of shit. You can, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. So he puts a single sheet of the moisture barrier drywall, it's the purple one, into the rail cart. And he looks at this thing and he goes, oh, you getting 3 of these? I go, yeah. So for those of you who don't know what drywall, how they package drywall, it's usually 2 pieces together held on the end with a piece of paper tape, right? One is 1 sheet. The 2-pack is 2 pieces. You know what I mean? So you pull the tape off. If you only need one, you pull the tape off, you separate the 2 together, and then you put it in the cart. So he's got a single one in the cart, and he goes to grab the 2 that are taped together. Then he goes, oh, someone must have split the pack. And so we have to take this one out. And I go, how many am I getting? He goes, 3. I go, 3 of what? These? And I'm pointing to the stack that's got, they're all taped together. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes, 3 of these. I'm tired of doing the voice, so bear with me. Yes, 3 of these. We have to pull this single one out. I said, all right, dude, no problem. So we pull the 1 sheet out, lay it off to the side. And me and this kid, and I'm sorry, the youth of today, we're doomed. We're doomed. He was trying to pull the sheet out, stand it up, and then walk around the cart and then lay it into the cart. I said, why don't we pull the cart sideways on the 8-foot side and just go over the top and zoop right in. Over the top, zoop right in. That's a great idea, sir. I'm like, holy fucking Jesus Christ. So he loads up what he thinks is 3 pieces, what I know is 6 pieces. I go, what else is on that list, kid? Oh, you got 36 pieces of shiplap. All right, do me a favor. Go get everything else. I'll go get the shiplap because this, I was already pissed. This should have been pulled. I'm yelling at the kid. This should have been pulled, blah, blah, blah. So he runs away and he gets whatever all the other stuff is. And I said, I'll meet you over by the shiplap. So I pushed the cart over the shiplap, and sure enough, I'm looking at the shiplap, and it's all fucking mixed up. If this kid was to pull this stuff, I would have had vinyl, I would have had rough cut, I would have had, and it's all, so I'm sitting there literally going through the shiplap going, nope, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is in the wrong place, this is the wrong place. Finally got 36 pieces. He comes over. Now he's trying to do his job. He throws all the stuff on my cart, and I go, how many pieces am I supposed to get? He goes, 36. And I go, yeah, I got 36 on here. Oh, let me count to make sure. Oh, okay. Mr. Accountant guy, you want to make sure that all the beans are correct in the pot? Go right ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 30, 4, 5, 6. I go, do I have 36? You do. I said, okay, am I good to go? Yeah, it's all paid for. Let me make sure you don't have to sign for it. In my mind, I'm like going, I don't know if my wife actually paid for this shit. I'm thinking I'm going to get this shit for free. So, nope, you're good to go. I said, so I don't need to check out or anything. I can just walk right out the front doors. No one's going to say anything to me. Nope, you're good to go. I said, all right. Head down, walk into the commercial outlet, walk outside. I saw one lady go, one of the cashiers kind of go, and just kind of, fuck it, I'm not even going to bother with them. Walked outside, and I'm loading the stuff up in the car. And my wife goes, how many pieces of drywall did you get? I said, shush, don't say nothing. Why? They're going to charge us. Babe, no, they're not. They're not going to charge us. We got it. We're good. I said, by the way, is this paid for? She's like, yeah, we paid for it online with the credit card. I said, okay, good. I was worried about that. So I'm stressed, throwing in the truck, get home, unload, and do all that stuff. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And so that's where we're sitting right there. When we come back, I got invited to, I got invited. My wife invited me to one of her friends' parties. And I don't know, I've never heard of this before, but I want to hear your opinion on it. And I'll get to the streak that got broken here in a second. So stick around, I'll be right back. So Saturday morning, my wife and I, actually Saturday evening, my wife and I wrap up as much as we could do with the bathroom remodel and stuff. Now, the owner's bathroom, whatever you fucking want to call it to be political correct, there's a toilet in there, but the toilet has a door, so you have this big, walk-in bathroom. It's like I think it's 11 by 15 or something like that, and a walk-in shower, and then you got a door that's got a toilet in there so you can take a crap and not stink up the place. For the most part, my wife doesn't use that toilet only because it's mine. And then guys do a lot of guy stuff in there and it stinks. I keep it clean, don't worry. But it's just kind of like she goes down the hall, we have a half bath. She usually uses that. Unless it's the middle of the night or she's in the bedroom. She'll use mine. But when she uses mine, she will take every last bit of toilet paper, just like girls do, off of the roll, and then leave a new roll on the floor. Like, you're almost there. You're almost there. So I don't know what happened this weekend, that past weekend, Memorial Day weekend. I go in there and to do my Sunday constitution, and I look at the toilet, and it's on backwards. Yeah. Now, I've known my wife. We've been together dating, married, everything, probably a total of 18, coming up on 19 years. I have never seen her put the toilet paper on backwards. And I looked at it and I go, huh. Because when you're sitting on the toilet paper is right here. I mean, it's like, within, you can hit it with your hand if you can spin it around like a cat. Spin it around if you want. And I go, toilet paper's on backwards. That's a first. And then, of course, my mind starts going, did she do it on purpose? Did she do it just to fuck with me? She did it on purpose, didn't she? She knows I got a short fuse. She knows that, this is like one of those passive aggressives. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I put it on that way. You forgot to get me something at the grocery store type deal. This is what you get. I was like, I don't think I did anything. I don't know. And I looked and I'm sitting there questioning my existence. And I go, well, I'll use it like it is. And maybe when she goes in there and uses the bathroom, she'll see that she put it on backwards and then go, oh, I put it on backwards. I must have, had too many glasses of wine. I couldn't tell where the toilet paper started, and, I'll fix it. No, she went in there twice. And I go in not right behind her, but then I go to use the bathroom because we're doing the remodel in the main bathroom there. And it's still on backwards. And I said, all right. Do I bring this up? Outside of you guys listening to us or listening to me. I said, let me just go ahead and just fix this now. Doop, turn around, boop, put it back in. Everything's done. Everything's good. But it was just one of those things. That's the first time that's ever happened in our existence together. So I just thought it was just kind of, is that step one? And next I get served papers or something later on? Nah, she's not going anywhere. My wife works for, let's do it this way. She has a bunch of people that work has nothing to do with it. I don't know why I said that. She has a group of people that she sees probably 3-4 times a week, and it's she takes horse lessons. She trains for horses, and then she goes to shows and does all that stuff. So she's got a small group of people, probably I think 11 or 12 people that she is, friends with. Some have a shit ton of money, some have no money. When you have horses, it's feast or famine. She said to me, hey, do you know such and such? I said, yeah. And these are the people that they have cattle and that's their business. It's a farm. They process meat and stuff and they distribute it out to, food, restaurants, stuff like that. So they got a little bit of coin, as the people say. She's like, hey, such and such is having a party on this coming, is it this Saturday? Holy Jesus, let me check my calendar before I get out of control. Let's see. Today is the 30th. When is the party? It's the 7th. So I got a week to prepare. I said, oh yeah, what kind of party is it? She said, well, her accountant, someone that works for her high up in her company, in the friend's company, got their citizenship, the U.S. citizenship. I said, oh, well, congratulations to them. Yeah, they're throwing a big welcome to the United States party. I said, oh, what? She said, welcome to the United States party. I go, I have never heard of that before. She's like, oh, yeah, everyone's going to wear red, white, and blue, American flags. They're going to have sparklers. It's going to be a big thing. And I go, is that a thing, really? Oh, Jesus, shut up. I said, is that a thing, really? She's like, well, they're making it a thing. And then I got to thinking, is that kind of like not a slap in the face, or is it a mockery saying that, hey, you were illegal, now you're legal, welcome to the United States. Hey, it was, I've never heard of an American, what did she call it, Happy American Day party is what she said. Happy American Day party. Or American whatever, something. And I said, well, what am I going to wear? Well, you got to wear one of those like Kid Rock meeting the president. You got to wear something like that with all American flags all over it. And I go, I feel uncomfortable. I would feel uncomfortable. You know, and I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, well, maybe not. Maybe like it's the same thing as like when you graduate college and whatever college you go to. Let's say, you know, I went to University of Central Florida, and then I go graduation party, and it's all, you know, UCF Knights. I get that. That's a college thing. It's a fraternity type thing, or not a fraternity, but a group of people who all, you know, like interests and stuff. But an American party to celebrate that you become American. All right, this is new to me. I said, so what do I need to do? What do I need to get? And she's like, well, you need a bunch of sparklers. Yeah, because nothing says America like sparklers. I said, well, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Altogether. Let's see, where are we at on time? Let me see, hold on. So I'm going to take a quick little break, and then I'll get back to what actually... I'll tell you what broke my streak. Something happened that broke my streak, and it set off a chain reaction, and it's what led to me not doing Friday's show. So you want to hear this? So stick around. I'll be right back. Over the last week, 7 days, I have been getting easily agitated. I'm still on my medication, but I think the rate of the agitation that I'm receiving, the medication is not helping. For just to refresh, I'm on Busprin, BUS, I don't know, printing like that. It's like 25 milligrams or something. Take it twice a day. I don't feel like, quote unquote, feel anything. Like I'm like, the only thing I do feel, I take this back. If I take it, usually within an hour and a half, I get a little sleepy, so I have to take a little nappy. I take a little 15-minute nap, and then I'm fine. And then I take it at night, usually around 8 o'clock, and I'm already going to bed. So, but I feel myself just getting so agitated. For example, it started with, thanks a lot, Shane. It started with, I was looking forward to going and spending time out away from the house and stuff, away from, you know, quote unquote work, and getting some time off to relax and just have a good time, not have to worry about things. Then I turned around and said, well, let me go ahead and remodel the bathroom at the same time. So now I'm stuck at home. I say stuck at home. I'm at home doing work, which I know in the back of my mind needs to be done and all this stuff. And then the order, you know, the simple order of the Lowe's thing was not pulled, and I was getting upset about that. And then you got the toilet paper that was put on backwards. I was getting like the little things, and then my wife would say something, just something simple, like a passive aggressive type thing. And normally I just kind of shake it off, but she's like going, you know, babe, when you open up the ice maker, if you pull the ice forward, more ice will fall down. Normally to anyone else, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay. But when she tells you 3 times in the same weekend, you're just kind of like going, what am I, a fucking moron? I know. Stop. It's those little barbs that she doesn't know that she's saying. She thinks she's doing me a favor, but she doesn't understand that in the back of my mind, I feel like you're talking to me like I'm a moron. I'm incapable of understanding the simple things in life that need to be done. So this whole entire week, I've tried the best I can to keep that anger down. What I think tripped the whole entire thing off, outside of Shane canceling for Memorial Day weekend, outside of the order not being pulled on Lowe's, not the toilet paper backwards on the thing, I always tell my wife, you have to be careful when you're driving. Please pay attention. I know. I said, I know you know, babe. And it's not like I'm harping on her. I don't tell her, when she leaves, drive careful. I never say, watch out for the pothole on the left and take a left turn and make sure you're going under 3 miles an hour on this side. It's not like that. Just be careful. Okay. Drive safely. That type of stuff. And I'm a stickler for keeping my head on a fucking swivel when I drive. Always. I got defeated the other day. Someone broke my streak. I'm sitting at the light, making a right-hand turn onto a major, I don't want to say it's a highway, it's a major road. 3 lanes on this side, suicide lane in the center, 3 lanes on the other side. I'm making a right onto the 3 lanes. I'm looking to my left, and there's 2 lanes next to me and another turning lane over there. I'm looking to my left to see if I've got a break in traffic to where I can take a right. I see the guy behind me. He's in a big old F350. And I see him pull up, when I come to the stop, I always look to see if this guy's going to stop behind me. Sure enough, he slows down. He's back a comfortable distance, what you should be when you stop behind someone. And I look to the left, and then the light changed, no, the light didn't change. I'm sorry, take that back. I'm watching to see if the light changes, because I would get a green arrow. No green arrow. I'm looking. No brake yet. I'm still looking to the left. All of a sudden, bam. I said, what the fuck? So I look in my mirror. I look in the rearview mirror. I look to the sideways mirror. And the white F350 is behind me still. So I put it in park and I get out. And I immediately do not blame him. I look behind him to see if someone ran into the back of him and pushed him into me. Nobody's behind him. So I go up to and he rolls his window down. He goes, I'm sorry, man. Like, sorry, dude. Young kid. I say kid. I'm 52. He's probably maybe 30, 29, 30. And it's a work truck. His mama's work truck, come to find out. I said, what the fuck happened? He goes, honestly, dude, he goes, I thought you went and I wasn't looking. I was watching the traffic. I thought you went already. And I started rolling forward and realized, I was going to gas it to get into the lane that you were getting ready to get into. And you were still in front of me. I said, oh shit. So now I'm a fucking bundle of nerves. Because the last time I got into an accident, some guy hit me coming out of like a 7-Eleven or something, smashed right inside of my Volkswagen Bug. So I must have been, 18, 19, 20 years old. I said, I'm thinking to myself, well, do I call the cops? What do I do now? It's been so long, I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. I said, and he goes, you want to pull over to the Shell station? Because there's a Shell station on the corner. I said, yeah. I said, but before you move, I get my phone out, take a picture of the accident, take a picture of the car, take a picture of his license plate. Because as soon as I take a right, there's nothing stopping him from taking off. Zoom, he's gone. And then I'm stuck there with my fucking dick in my hand. So we pull over, and I get a better look at the in my wife's car, in my wife's Audi Q5 car. And the bumper's just kind of dented. And there's a light broken. Now, he didn't hit me hard. He hit me enough. He was under 5 miles an hour. So when you hit and you've got an F350, metal hits plastic, it sounds like a fucking freight train hit you. So looking at his car, and he's like, oh man, there's no damage on my car. I go, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of technical electronics, cameras and stuff in this. He goes, all right. I said, let me get my insurance card out. And I call my insurance company. Hey, this is what happened. What do I need to do? Is everyone okay? Yeah, everyone's fine. Is the car drivable? Yeah, everything's drivable. Well, you need to get his information and file a claim against him. Okay. So I get his all information, and he's cool about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, man. You know, apologize." Like he hits people all the time. "I'm sorry, dude." And he sees my last name. He goes, "Holmes? Why does that sound familiar?" And I'm thinking to myself, okay, don't pull the fucking, don't pull the hosts of, 4 different podcasts that come out of your little small town that half this neighborhood and half this county listens to. I said, well, I live over on, he's like, "I live on that street too." I said, "Well, I'm at this." He's like, "I'm 4 houses up the road from you." I said, "Well, what the fuck?" So I take a picture of his stuff and I file a claim through his insurance and stuff. Now I've got to go grocery shopping because I'm on my way. It's Friday. I got to go grocery shopping. So go grocery shopping, come back. My wife always goes, "How's it go? How was grocery shopping?" And I do the fake crying. I go, "I didn't have a good time." She's like, "Why?" "Some jackass hit me in the back." What? "Oh, are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." She goes out and looks at it. She's like, "Oh." She's like, "That's nothing." I said, "Yeah, it's nothing, but there's a lot of technical stuff, with a German engineering car. I want it fixed. Right. We're doing a claim." She's like, "Oh, hell yeah, we're doing a claim." So there was a backup light that was out, and nothing broke, no glass or anything, just a shock kind of messed stuff up. So you take Shane canceling the Memorial Day party, the now wreck that broke my 32-year-old 32-year streak of not being in an accident. You take the Lowe's order that wasn't pulled, and then, granted, I got like 3 sheets of free sheets of ply or drywall out of it, and then the toilet paper on backwards. And my wife says, "If you pull the ice forward, it'll fill up in the back." Why are you so sensitive? I don't know. I don't know, honey. I love you. I love you. So that's why I did not do a show last week. That's why I didn't do a show. So everything's good. My wife understands everything. She's realizing it now as the further days unfold and stuff. So, all right, guys. Thanks for listening to me work all this stuff out. I'll talk to you later. See you. Bye. I don't know what it is. In my mind, I'm like going, "You got jaw cancer. You're going to lose your jaw." And you're going to be like, one of those people. All right, guys. See you. Take care.